Hey, welcome back to another video here on Jay's Calming Corner. Today I'm doing something a little new, and it's going to be part of a series, and it is taking pictures that I've had for the last 10 years and putting them out there and kind of sharing experiences, but just the beauty of nature. So we are starting with what I call home right now, Idaho. These pictures that you're seeing right now are of what's called craters of the moon. So it's in southern Idaho, and it is a huge lava bed. It is a desert in many places here, but it's pretty cool. Lots of cool rocks and formations and textures. And most of these pictures I did a little bit of working on the saturation and details just so you could see it a little bit better, but not a ton of editing. I'm not that great at that kind of thing. But beautiful mountains, fun trees. There's a good amount of hiking. Now, of course, because this is lava, black lava, there's a lot of heat that it traps, and it is not a very hospitable place. You don't want to be stuck out there in the summer without water. You can go camping there. They do have a camping site, and they have a variety of caves that you can explore depending on your comfort level and how strong and healthy you are. And I know I haven't been in very many of them, but some of them that you'll see here. So for some people, they may just be rocks. And for some people, the desert is ugly. It's not tropical, but I think there's beauty in everything. You can see the lichen growing on these. Just that coexisting life. You can see what Mother Nature can really do. We've got some really great, you can see the texture there from the lava. I'm gonna keep saying lava, but it's really amazing. It looks kind of foamy. I honestly don't know. Probably should have done some research. I don't know how long ago. Oh, that one's beautiful. Look at that. That's so amazing. I don't know how long ago this all happened. But it's pretty cool that it's intact. I remember going to this when I was a kid. Definitely over 20 years ago. And went back 2 or 3 summers ago. Probably 3 or 4 summers ago. That's really cool, the lichen right there. And just got to explore it again. I want to go back, take some friends. Isn't that beautiful? It's simple, but it's beautiful. These hikes that you get to go up. And these beautiful rocks. You don't see a whole lot of life there, but I know we did spot a bat in one of the caves. I'm trying to think if there was any other critters alive. But you just kind of imagine, like, what if you were nearby many, 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 many years ago when this was an active volcano? That would be scary. But imagine if you had a bird's eye. And it's still preserved for us. This one's pretty cool. All twisted in on itself. And I mean, that's the thing about lava, is it's liquid rock. I remember hearing last time a big volcano went off in Hawaii, how a little bit like splattered, like spurted, and it hit someone and they like broke their leg or something, because it looks very liquid, but it's rock. It is rock. So it doesn't just dissolve into a nice little pool. But here we are going into one of the caves that you can go in. It's so refreshingly cool down there after a long hike. It's cool. You got the little, these are probably just tunnels, right? They kind of had bubbles that formed, and eventually at some point kind of collapsed in on itself, giving us entry to inside. The ones I've been in, they weren't very extensive. It's not like you're going for a mile, but I know there are some more intense ones. But in this next one, it's pretty big. It's a pretty big opening. You see a person standing there on the left. So I don't know, I'd love to hear if you guys have been, well, if you've been to Craters of the Moon, or if you've ever been able to go to a place like this where you see the results of lava flow. So some of these are a little bit blurry, but I still wanted to keep them in because they were really cool shots. And I'm just sitting here with my little puppy staring at me, begging. My neighbor's just got a new tiny puppy, and she really, really wants to be friends. Anyway, so this is the end of Craters of the Moon. We're going to be moving on soon to another place in southern Idaho. Most of my time in Idaho is in the south, but then again, most of Idaho is in the south. There's only a narrow point up top. So this is from a hike on what we call R Mountain. R like the letter R for Robert, or sorry, that's my dog. Robert, or Rexburg, which is the name of the city. Also, it used to be Ricks College. It's now known as BYU Idaho. That's where I went. It was Ricks when it was a 2-year. And sorry if that was noisy. The air conditioning came on. Guys, I can't win. It's either that or the street traffic in the other room. But again, it's a desert. It really is. But beautiful formations. So this is a caldera. So this is, you know, a very dormant volcano. I'm pretty sure it's dormant. And it's a pretty steep hike. Being a gal that's not in much shape, I definitely slow people down. But I do enjoy it. I've done it probably a handful of times. And being a caldera, like there's a valley on the inside, and you can walk all the way around the top, like a rim, and look down on these farmlands all around, and a little bit of river there. And, you know, sagebrush, that's what that stuff is. A lot of people probably think sagebrush is just an ugly green bush. It kind of is, but I think it's beautiful. But a lot of good memories there. It's R Mountain because it has a white R on it, like some places do for the city. So I think it's pretty faded by now. I don't think they've been refreshing it for lots of years. And I've always seen like bunnies and lizards, and there's a lot of wildlife up on there. This, to be honest, I don't know if this is Idaho or Utah, but I just thought that was a beautiful picture from a car ride, as was this. And then I don't know if this is in Idaho. Let me know if you've seen that. It's a formation that I saw many times on car rides. And then next we're going to be switching to Boise area. So Boise is the state capital. That's where I'm living now. I've moved around a few times here. But this is the eclipse. If you guys remember that a couple years ago, we were so close to totality, but not quite there. And just some beautiful pictures. There was a park that was really close to where I lived a couple of years ago. And there's a lot of parks here. It's known as the city of parks. So there's a good little patch of nature everywhere that you can go. And at this particular one, they had little gardens, little community gardens, but especially for like kids as educational. And some of it was flowers and some of it was food. And it was just fun to see God's creations. Awesome to see things nurtured and taken care for. So maybe I'm sappy. But then again, if you're still watching this, maybe you are too. I don't know, do you have a favorite flower? Or if you've grown a garden, what is your favorite thing? If I could only pick one fruit or vegetable, it would hands down be tomatoes. Because I love tomatoes, and they taste 10 times better from a garden than they ever do from a store, even if you buy the vine ripened at the store. Maybe I'm a tomato snob. Right now, I've planted in my friend's garden. She's got lots of tomato plants, but I kind of claimed of my own a couple of tomatillo plants. So if you haven't ever experienced with those, they're fantastic for green salsa, and they're really easy and kind of fun. So anyway, this is all from that little garden. Not a whole lot of vegetable pictures, but here's kind of part of the park and the beautiful clouds. Also in Idaho, we get a lot of snow. This was taken one Christmas day, and I think it was on a particularly rough winter here. But I love snow. I love having 4 seasons. Yes, it's cold, but then it's not too blazing hot all year round. Not so much nature, but pretty flowers. I just thought that was a beautiful array around Valentine's. I wish I knew the names of some flowers. I don't remember quite where I took these pictures. I think it was maybe like outside of my aunt's house. And this, just the funniest thing, it was in my office. I don't even know what it was reflecting on, but just beautiful how rainbows are in nature. Something not man-made, but so beautiful. So these are pictures at the Boise, Idaho temple of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So that's the church that I belong to, and we have like our regular Sunday worship buildings that anyone could go in, but the temple's a bit different and is only open Tuesday through Saturday, and there are like special guidelines and commitments to be able to go in, and I don't get to go nearly enough, but when I do, I always love to stop and look at the beautiful flowers. They keep it very well groomed. It's a very peaceful place to just sit and think or walk around, and the grounds are open to the public, if you're being respectful. And we don't have a visitor center at this temple. We do at some of our larger ones. So if you have one in your area, you might check out and see if they have a visitor center, kind of learn about it and see some of the beautiful things. So more pretty flowers. This was outside of the last apartment building I lived at. I just thought they're so cute. Another one that was just next to it. Now I work for an airline, so here is a beautiful sunset as I was probably getting on a plane. I love the fall. You can see the green, yellow, orange, brown. All right, the air conditioner went off. I think, are these called crocus? These were in my friend's garden, flower garden, this spring, and I'm not much of a flower gardener, because if I'm going to spend that time outside with the bugs and the heat, I want to get something tasty out of it. But I do really appreciate it. She has amazing flower gardens, and actually I think some of the next ones too are from a different friend's flower garden, so I get to enjoy the fruits of their labor or the blossoms of their labor. So this is just a beautiful sunset. So these are some more pictures at the temple, which I couldn't even tell you if they were from the same year. I think they were from a different year. They're pretty similar, but I'm sure there are different flowers. And I just love it. Such a bright pop of color. I think everyone kind of loves spring because of that new growth. And that's what this reminds me of. I'm trying to think if I had a favorite flower. I don't know what it would be. And with these, like I said, I worked for an airline. I'm going to have probably a whole video just on pictures from out of airplanes, because they're just kind of a category of their own. They're brilliant. And also probably a whole video for for animals and bugs. So I've got those. So this beautiful thing is the start of my other friend's garden. I was doing some house and cat sitting for her the other day, and just had to walk around and admire these. So the cat got along fairly well with my dog. There were a couple of incidents, but for the most part, they were good pals. The cat is such a cute little cuddle bug, but he's also a vicious hunter. One day, it was just bad timing. I came outside right as the cat carried a bird by, and I just thought, oh no, the poor bird. I mean, that's nature, right? That's just how it works. But I kind of looked and it was breathing. His little beady eyes were staring at me. I thought, well, I don't see any major damage. So I kind of put up the cat, coaxed it out of its place, and it flew off. But it flew off into the kitchen window. Big thunk, left an imprint on the window and a feather. But he sat there on the windowsill for quite some time until he kind of overcame the shock. I didn't see any blood. I could see all the way around him from inside the house and outside. And, like half an hour later, he flew up onto the roof where he stayed for a while. I had to leave the house for a few hours, and when I came back, he was gone. Now, may he have died from injuries I did not see or shock? There's a very high possibility, but we're going to say that he lived to fly another day. And the cat was very disappointed in my choice. But I decided, if there's a fighting chance, we'll give it to this guy. We'll give him a redo. Hopefully he'll look out for cats and watch where he's going more next time. So anyway, I don't know if that's a sad story. I don't know if I should share that, but that's part of what I think of when I see these pictures. I remember walking around outside and the cat and the dog exploring a little flower garden space. I don't know if you can hear my dog snoring. She really, really wants attention. Aren't these beautiful? It's so rare to see blue in nature that I just had to grab a few shots. I don't know what they're called. I mean, a rose and a daisy. It's pretty much the extent of my knowledge here. Or this next one, a pansy. I got that. So this is a cherry blossom that was in the backyard of the first place I rented when I came to the Boise area. Beautiful sunset. A few more flowers from, pretty sure, the temple. Just a couple more here. And then the next one is at a different park, a bigger park. They have fun hills. They have an amphitheater. Next one is lightning. It was a crazy lightning storm in the wee hours of the morning. This was on a hot air balloon ride. I took my ex-husband on one for an anniversary, but it was really cool to be up there. So this last part of Idaho is also in southern Idaho. It is in the area of Twin Falls. I have some family that lives there, and as we were traveling by, we had to stop and take some pictures. There's an overpass where people can get out, and it's just really cool to see the ravine there. And I haven't gone and officially seen like the waterfalls that they're known for. I mean, Twin Falls, right? You can see down there, tiny on the left, people kayaking. Kind of fun. All the way from up there you can see. I'll admit though, I feel almost as much, if not more, nervous walking across these tall, high, long bridges as I did up in the hot air balloon. Maybe I'm crazy. But these are breathtaking to me. I could watch them all the time. I am making it a priority to go camping this summer. I have not been able to go for way too many years, but I'm making time this year. So I'm excited about that, to just unplug, go enjoy nature, and I have not been posting nearly as much as I would like. And I'm sorry for those of you that like to see new content, but just kind of balancing this and 2 other channels and a job and all the good stuff. So these waterfalls, I don't know if these were from that area, I'm gonna be honest. A lot of pictures I don't have any reference for, but I just thought that maybe they fit into that area. So anyway, that is a summation of Idaho in pictures. Thank you for joining.